do. Hello, everybody. Hello, God of Quack. Hello, Alfie Jacinto. Hello, Agnes Jacinto. Hello. It's me, Emily. Phil is currently sitting on the couch, being a little bit of a potato, but you know, he is Sir Potato Potato, so that's within the brand. Hey, Phil, you coming back? He just said potato. That's about right. Okay, so we are doing Rate My Team today. So I'm going to change up what this looks like. Hold up. Nope, that's the wrong one. What the freak? Hi, Wesley. How you doing? All right, this is better. I don't know why I put Air Server on here. Oh, we've got Phil. Hello, Sir Potato.
Hi.
I
am Sir Potato, but you can also call me Sir Pee-Pee. It's potato. You know, potato.
Hi, David. Hi, KKFG.
Sir Pee-Pee. That's the initial. Or you can call me Potato Phil, which also is still Sir Pee-Pee. So no matter what, it's Sir Pee-Pee. Also, Emily pointed out something really funny. Since I'm technically the leader of the pack when I have to be, our initials, if you include Eddie into our initials, is PEE, which spells out P. So it's there's a lot of P going around. Sir PP. Yeah, that's right. So just letting y'all know that my name is Sir PP.
All right, so let's talk about why we were late. So,
Oh yeah, sure. No, you talk. You talk.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
here. I'm
So,
just existing at this point.
At around like 6:30 this morning, my mom's senses started tingling when I heard a sound that sounded something like this. And then a whole bunch of liquid falling on the floor. I thought that's not right. So I got up, I checked my little doggy's crate, and lo and behold, he vomited.
Puked everywhere. That also starts with a P.
So then we took him outside, even though, you know, listen, I know 6:30 is not the middle of the night, but it feels like the middle of the night if you went to bed at 3 a.m. Okay? Yep. So I went outside. He pooped 3 times. Actually, his grandma took him outside, so thank you, Mom. He pooped 3 times, and then he came back, and we put him back in the crate, you know, after cleaning up the vomit, obviously. And then, what are you doing? Meanwhile, Sir Pee-Pee is sound asleep. So I put him back in the crate, and then I go back to bed. And an hour later, bleh, I get up, more vomit. Lovely. So I cleaned that up, but then I could not get the dog back in the crate because he did not want to go back. He was like, Mom, I puked in there. I do not want to go back in there. So I had to wake up Dad, who was still at this point snoozing quite soundly in his bed, having no idea that the doggy that's in the same room as him has just vomited his guts out twice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Why are you so close and
I
creepy?
don't know. I'm just, it's a mood, you know?
Okay.
I'm having a mood.
So then the next hour, it was around 9 o'clock. Oh, it was a great morning. He starts vomiting again. And finally, we're just like, okay, this little boy's got to go to the vet because he just puked out his entire guts. Yeah. And also pooped out his entire intestines. Hello, buddy boy. So we took him to the vet.
Eddie.
Luckily, they were able to see him. They said that he didn't have an obstruction, so that was good. Yep. And of course, you know, he puked 3 times on the way to the vet. And then as soon as we got to the vet, he perked up and he was like, ooh, I love the vet. I want to meet all the dogs and growl at all the kitties. And this is going to be tons of fun. So, yeah, that's the story of how I lost $230 this morning. Thank you very much.
Ow, that's my nose. With that being said, hi, Eddie. I will be making my grand entrance now. Emily, could I have my phone and my iPad, please? I'm going to speak to you guys like this. Oh, man. Oh, thank you. So I'll be doing raids while I am raiding your team. Why? Because I can. And because I've decided that that is the way life is going to go. And life is sometimes unfair. And, yeah. So we're gonna begin. Yep. Okay. So, first thing of the day that I'm oh wait. Okay, so this is today at 12:02. I'll take this. I'll take it. I'll just keep taking it. Is that oh, okay. Let's go. Let's open up. Open the sesame. All right, let's take a look at the first bit. The Great PP. Thank you, Dark Halo. Emily rate the teams tonight? No. Emily, what is Emily doing, Emily? Oh, right. Vomit, clean up, and eat things. Oh, Sir PP has not eaten outside of candy canes and garbage. Can Sir PP get a tiny snack, please? I'm just gonna refer to myself in third person and call myself Sir PP from now on. Like, at this point, I think that's my New Year's resolution, to only call myself Sir PP from now on. Maybe I'll change the intro from Sir Potato to just Sir PP. And just leave it at that. Yeah, I'll do that. Anyways, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we got here, okay? Alright, so we got Sun Family. Wait, no we don't. This is Saiyans. There's no way in hell this is Sun Family. Alright, misleading title. So I can't see the equips, so all I can talk about is what I think of the actual team setup. The 3 units on the very top are totally fine. They're actually a justifiable team to actually be using. If you're going to be using this particular team, you should start off with Super Vegito because it allows you to properly buff the rest of your team as you switch out. Otherwise, you could also go for Goku Vegeta for the neutral, or alternatively, the Ultra Gogeta for neutral, but I find that Super Vegito is, despite being a really strong unit, he's the weak link on the team, which isn't a bad thing. That's actually a good thing if Super Vegito, of all things, is a weak link. So I say weak link very sparingly. I don't actually mean weak link, just more like just where he's at. Obviously, you want to get him to Zenkai 7, not 5, but outside of that, it's all good. It's like, I'm very pleased with the top 3 units, so nothing bad to say there. One thing that I would say is, unfortunately, I can't see what the equips are, so I don't know what I'm dealing with here. So all I can really judge this is based upon units. Alright, then as for bench, let's see. Ultra Vegito, what was Ultra Vegito's boosts? What does that man boost? That's the question, because depending on what he boosts is what I'm gonna have to say about that. I don't really recall, so let me just take a look real quick. Episode Saga or Saiyan, Blast Attack and Defense. Interesting. Okay, so it's Blast Attack and Defense. I find that's kind of awkward of a boost, but I guess it could work if you have got nothing better. That's fine. Nameku as a buffer for just Blast Attack and Strike Attack is, Blast and Strike is fantastic. And then this unit I don't really like unless he's at least Zenkai'd, because at that point you're really banking on the Zenkai abilities to boost, and not so much whatever's going on here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I really have to say about this team, so we're just gonna move on. Overall, the concept itself is fine. I've seen top players use a team pretty much exactly like this, except for the bench being better than this, but outside of that, it's the solid 3. Yeah, it's solid. It makes sense. I understand the point of it, or at least assuming that you're playing it the way that they're playing it, and yeah, you're good. Alright. Alright. Fuse Whip. Alright, so this fusion team I feel like is very dated. I think the only good thing about this team currently is Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, and he isn't even really what is generally speaking used. So, like, on fusions at this point, generally speaking, when I see fusions, I think of Majub. Because of the meta itself, more so than because he's a bad unit. Like, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta is definitely a great unit and still gets used in the top 100, or even the top 1K. It's just that, you know, Majub comes more to mind when I think of a yellow fusion unit that people want to run. It's really just the meta. The meta itself has really dictated which yellow is better for the team. Outside of that, I honestly feel like this Fusions team, unfortunately, is very lackluster. Any Fusion unit that could be Zankai'd is not Zankai'd. And even if you were to Zenkai, let's say this unit, it's still not good. Like, you'd rather run Vegeta Blue. Merge Zamasu or Fusion Zamasu is like the poor man's Super Vegito at this point for Fusion specifically. Otherwise, he's a fantastic unit. They both have their place on different teams. Just I don't agree with Fusion Zamasu being on Fusions, considering we have access to Super Vegito. Assuming that you have access to Super Vegito. And it's clear to me this player does not. So that's fine. It's just something to note. Yeah, overall, it's really hard to really say anything about this because, I mean, there is a standard to what you should be running for Fusions, and this ain't it. Like, I'm willing to let Gogeta Blue slide because you can totally run Gogeta Blue even in a top level gameplay and still manage to make it work, even without Majub. But the rest, no, not at all. Like, if I were to pull up, let's pull up DBZ space. I don't need Game Press for this. We just pull up Fusions. Like, obviously, main unit is this one, but if you don't have him, you can always use Vegeta Blue. Assuming you have any of this, you need Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. Like, it's non-negotiable at this point. Their reds tend to be. Where is red? It's not tend actually. Let's reformat what I'm about to say. Their red is Super Gogeta, right? Their purple, obviously, is the Zenkai Super Vegito. So actually, we don't even need to do that, but it's right here, right? Yellow's usually Majub, which is right here. Generally speaking, this team just doesn't have a lot going for it. Like, I'm sure you can win with it, but how far is the question? And if you find yourself losing, chances are you're not losing because the player's a whale. You're losing because your team is bad. This meta is very unforgiving, and having a predisposed team that doesn't do enough, especially because a lot of them are outdated, is a very good way of saying that the team itself is bad. You may not be a bad player, but when you're playing a bad team, you're going to lose. Chances are you're going to lose. So, yeah, that is what I have to say to that. So let's move on. I think I'm done berating this team. All right, let's take a look at this. This looks like it's supposed to be... I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Like, I actually genuinely don't know. What is this team? I'm sorry, I need to see who posted this because I have no idea what this team is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be Saiyans? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. But if it's supposed to be Saiyans, what's going on with what's going on with the future units in this? Like, I genuinely don't understand, which is why I'm asking. Like, I don't understand, and yeah. It's a Dragon Ball tag, lol. No, not even close. I don't know, unless you're joking, because you clearly are joking, but I don't. Feck me. Okay, I'm sure the team works in some wonky way. I'm not going to discredit the team for being able to be handled by a good player. I don't understand it. There's disjointed synergy, which is definitely going to affect its effectiveness when it comes to tanking and also dealing damage. I think what worries me more is the fact that you will not be able to deal as much damage as you'd like, right? It doesn't also help that the equips itself are lackluster. So, like, for example, if I look at GV has a specific set of equips that are allowed, and this ain't it. Hi, Eddie. How you doing, bud? I know you're here for the food, not for me, but, you know, chill, dude. Chill. Like, for example, when I look at these, I don't think of that as the equips that you should be even going for. Like, if we just want modern-based equips for a character like GV, let's actually pull up GV and let's show some some equips that I would recommend. If you're going for equips specifically for GV, I have my thoughts on what could be really good and what would not be really good. So it depends also on the team that you're running, right? Because your team will dictate a lot of which equips you run, right? Now, not all these equips you can grab, so just be aware of that. So it depends on what you want to do. For sure, 100% is the I love units team. You have a good idea for equips you need. Yep. Yeah, I do. Yeah, so Kakarot, for example, is a fantastic equip for any purple movies well, okay, most movies purple characters. I feel like there are certain characters that just genuinely do not need this as much, but for the most part, like, actually, if we're talking about Goku, Vegeta, they 100% can abuse this equip to the point where it's actually busted. So I would 100% recommend this equip. Another equip that I think is actually fantastic to recommend is Awaken Let's Go Vegeta. And depending on which slot you decide to go for, can really dictate what the third equip can be. I personally think Base Strike Attack is a way better a buff to the character than Blast, only because their Blast is already exceptionally good. And the way that their kit is designed seems to favor Blast anyways, so being able to really push more strike output is very helpful. It also really helps if you decide that you really want to run, let's say, Mind Your Own Business Tin Man. Now, I'm not going to overhype this equip and say it's the best thing ever, but what I am going to say is this. When you have a pure strike buff, and you are able to give yourself as close to 20% to base strike attack, and being also a melee character with also a base strike of potentially 20% to here too, you are basically looking, and also Z abilities, you're basically looking at Mind Your Own Business Tin Man actually exploiting how insane not only his strike damage can be, but also Goku specifically, his blue card. Because his blue card is based off of strike potential, and then goes into special damage. But if you don't want that, if you're more lackluster on whichever one you get, you can also choose equipments like Awaken. I think we can do it. It's fantastic for just base overall buffs. Or you can go with the Awaken Finally Time to Go Wild. It's more defensive, but it also allows you to abuse health restoration a bit more while also, you know, boosting special damage. Ult damage is not, it's just there, but not perfect, but you can definitely do it. So yeah, these are the ones I generally recommend. There are more, but these are just some of the equips I recommend. Because there are more. There are 100%, there are more that you could use. It's just that when I think of, like, off the top of my head what I would recommend, these are some of the ones I recommend. Done. It's that simple, realistically. Nothing more than that. But are there more equips that you could run on GV and make it work? Absolutely. It's just that is what, off the top of my head, where you can go. All right, so Ahmed says, I'm not going to lie, I kind of need some advice for cheering up, man. I spent 36k CC on Gogeta Banner, didn't pull him. And I finished all my ways of making CC. I've legit spent 100k CC on the last 3 banners only as a free-to-play bro. My trust just feels heavy right now. Ahmed, listen. What did you pull on the future or the movies banner? Because I think you're too hyper-focused on your failure with one unit, and you're not focusing on all the other units you've pulled. I think this is the problem. I think this is the problem with a lot of people that play this game. They don't focus on the wins. They only focus on every L they take. And I don't blame you for that, because I get it. But this is 100%. This is 100% a gacha addiction in that case. Where you have essentially fallen into the trap of, unless you get what you want, you're unhappy. And in a gacha game, the entire point is that you're gambling. I unfortunately, I'm not going to be here to cheer anyone up. I'm here to tell you exactly what this game is. It's a gacha game. You're gambling your luck. You're actually, well, you're gambling in variance. Luck is only a part of it because you don't have any access to its variance. And as a result, you have to consider, you pulled SOH and GV. Okay, so after 45k on the SOH and 15k on GV. Okay. But you pulled both of them. My problem here is this, Ahmed. Did you even consider budgeting how much CC you're willing to spend on each banner? That's something you got to consider, right? When you go into a banner, if you go into a banner without any plan of when you're going to stop, this is how the game makes you either quit or become a pay-to-play player. Not pay to win, just pay to play. Those are your two options when you don't plan out how much CC you're going to budget before spending on a banner. You need to know from the get-go, when you look at a banner, how much are you willing to put into it, regardless of whether you get the unit or not. I'm sorry, I can't cheer you up, dude, as much as I would like to. It's more so, I gotta tell you what is factually true about this game. You need to consider how much CC you're willing to put into a banner, because you have to treat your CC like money. If you're just blowing all your money into something because you want something, but you know that you will never be guaranteed it, you have to plan for potential losses. So, for example, if I'm going to go into a banner, okay, let's take, for example, the banner with when Broly and Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta first came out, the ones for Christmas. I had budgeted 20k CC for the Gogeta banner, plus $300 extra for the Gogeta banner, just in case. That was my budget, and I stuck to it. It did require me to spend 20k CC and pretty much $300 in order to pull the Gogeta once. And what did I do after I pulled it? I stopped. And that $300 was actually budgeted for not just Gogeta, it was budgeted for Broly. I didn't expect to be shafted so much to the point where I couldn't summon for Broly. But what did I do after I got only Gogeta and not Broly? Well, I sulked. I was sad, but I didn't. Yes, I did. But I did not try to overdo it and try to get Broly. I then set aside how much I was going to put onto Broly, which is 8k CC. And if I couldn't pull him there, I gave up. And that's what I did. I gave up on the unit. Just completely. I think a lot of the problem here is that everyone is too focused on just always getting the shiniest new units when you don't consider what you already have and what is the meta looking like. UL Gogeta is not the be and end all. As much as a lot of YouTubers like to say it, he's a fantastic unit. He's very strong. He's definitely top 2. But you're contesting with a unit like GV that already exists. And he's a fantastic unit. And if you have SOH and GV, just make a future team. Done. You're set. No, you've calculated wrong, Ahmed. I don't know what calculations people are trying to do in your, like, what calculations you're doing in your head, but that's completely wrong. You're already wrong just based upon the fact that you said you should pull them twice with the amount of CC you used. No. Absolutely not. The rates stay consistent throughout the entire time. You are always guaranteed its rate per summon. That is the gambling fallacy a lot of people make. If you gamble more, you're more likely to get it. No. If you gamble more, you're given the same rate and odds if the same rate and odds are applied for every single summon. So your rate and odds for getting that character are extremely low every single time. And I don't understand why people think if I just put more CC into something, I'm 100% guaranteed. No, you're never 100% guaranteed to get it. I think this has become more of a understanding your gambling addiction session more so than rate my team. Because on my alt account, I'm playing against a ton of Bardocks and ULs, but that's not a issue with the team. That's a skill issue in that case. That's a skill issue because I'm running Future on the alt account, the iPad. I'm running a Future, so I'll show you guys the Future team right now, just so you guys can see it. So here's the Future team. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but as you can see, it does not run Ultra Gogeta at all. And, you know, it's easily crushing teams like Mono Purple, Blue Color Counter, Super Saiyans. And if I lose, that's a skill issue. That's not a, that's not a team issue. That's just a skill issue. I don't understand when I see people say, "Oh, it's because they have this unit that I couldn't win." No, that's not the reason. You have to first evaluate how good your team is, and if you have units from the newest banners outside of Ultra Gogeta, trust me, your issue is not unit issue. I'm not here to try to be mean here. I'm just trying to point out something that I think we need to take responsibility for our own shortcomings. Whenever I lose to someone that has similar stars, I can't complain that they're a whale. I cannot complain that they had this unit, I didn't have this unit. I have to just accept the fact that I was not as good. You know, Ahmed, like I said, I'm glad that you're taking this, you know, well. I just want you to know that I understand your plight. And I sympathize, right? I really do sympathize because 36k CC into a Gogeta banner definitely sucks. There's no way around it. It definitely sucks. But I just wanted you to know, yeah. I just want you to know that planning matters. It's why I talk about it, guys. It's why if you ever check out any of my Is It Worth It videos, I talk about that. Whenever you watch any of my live streams and we're talking about CC, I'm talking about budgeting. Why? Because you treat your CC like money, you'll treat yourself well in this game. You don't treat your CC like money, you better start becoming pay to play. I'm just going to be straight up and honest with you guys. If you are not willing to treat your CC as a free to play, as money, as currency, to budget, turn yourself to pay to play because you don't know how to save in that case. So I'm just like, yeah. And you've only been playing for 2 months. There you go. Okay. So then in that case, you'll be fine. If you've only been playing for 2 months, you've made a beginner mistake. But the nice thing is you have SOH and you have GV. GV is going to be a long-lasting unit. And as long as Future Gohan is a top-tier character, SOH will remain top tier as well. They're so good together as a mix that your team is pretty much safe. Future is very safe. They've been safe even before SOH even came out. But SOH just plateaued them. So, you're fine. So, not having UL Gogeta, it's fine. You just need to remember that you need to keep practicing. PvP is a practice-based area. Same with PvE. Same with co-op. You've been playing for only 2 months. Don't worry. That's most likely a skill issue. You just need to keep working on that. As you get better, you're going to get frustrated. You're also going to get better. You're going to not notice the differences until you maybe record yourself. Record yourself now playing. And then what I want you to do is record yourself 6 months down the line. See if you've improved. Trust me, you have. Yo, yo. I see you there. Yo, Happy New Year to all of you in advance, by the way. Just, yeah. Okay. Yo, and hi, Monkey. Sorry, I haven't even eaten. Jesus Christ, I should eat. Need that Fiesta dip. Ugh. All right, yep. Let's move on. All right, so personally speaking, this team confuses me, like I said. One thing that I would definitely say is if you're gonna do base equips, just here's FYI to everyone, and this includes the player for this team. If you're gonna do base equips, please, please, please make sure that all your base equips start at least minimum gold. If they are base. If they're awakened, I can give you a pass because awakened equips takes a lot of resources, takes a lot of energy, and is annoying as hell. Outside of that, I mean, I can't really say much about this team other than it is what it is and I don't fully understand it. I'll accept that and we'll move on. Whoa, okay, this is small. Okay, mid saga. So we have movies. I cannot see the equips, so I don't know what they are, so we'll just base it off of what the movies team is. GV is great. This green Broly is awesome. The legendary Super Saiyan Broly is also a fantastic unit. I think people underrate him too much. He's a monstrosity. The final form Frieza from the movie is also really good. Turles is where I kind of draw the line. I'm just like, he's okay. Like, he's not bad. Don't underestimate him, otherwise he'll kick your butt. But he's not, like, exceptional. There's nothing exceptionally amazing about Turles outside of the fact that he just has... Oh, shit. Well, that's unfortunate. Eddie was barking so much that it actually made vibrations and spilled my dip all over the floor. So that sucks. But it is what it is. It's interesting because... Okay, 1 second, guys. Sorry, but whoever's not dealing with this, like, while I'm working, is annoying me right now. My apologies. That sucked, but I had to talk to Emily because she was not actually dealing with the situation properly, so I had to deal with that. Okay. Anyways. And then this movie Goku Dripku, he's solid, but like he's underwhelming. I think his best feature currently that he has is the ability to continue a combo as long as you have cards in your hand, as well as the ability to like steal your opponent's Dragon Balls. Kind of like DKP. That's about it. Outside of that, there's not much else redeemable about him. His pseudo defenses don't matter because a lot of units can just rip through him anyways. That's not to say that he's a bad unit. For a free-to-play unit, he's decent. It's just that there are better free-to-play units out there. Like, for example, the new Frieza that's about to come out, much better than Goku. Dripku. And then the yellow Rosé, the free-to-play Rosé, way better than this Goku as well. So, like, I feel like they should have released this Dripku roughly around the same time they released the Drip Vegeta. Drip Vegeta. So, I don't know. That's just how I personally feel about the unit. Otherwise, not much else to say about this team. Solid. I can't see the equips. I don't know what's going on there, so that's what it is. All right, let's take a look. This is Powerful Opponent or Frieza Force. Probably Frieza Force. All right, let's take a look. Tin Man. Are these strike-based equips? Because if they're not, that kind of hurts the character, but otherwise... Okay, honest to God, my problem with Frieza Force isn't that it's a bad team or anything like that. It's that I don't really know what they do. I'm gonna be honest. Frieza Force is not one of those teams where I'm just like, yeah, I know what that does. I know that team. I know what equips I use on those. No, I don't. I have no fucking clue what equips I should use on Frieza Force. I'm gonna be real with you guys. It's okay, here we go. Here we go. Here's one. If it's Frieza Force, why the feck are we not running this? This looks great. Okay. Strike Blast per tag Frieza Force or Lineage Evil battle member when this character enters the battlefield. It's fantastic. Special move, ultimate damage, more defense. And then this, what does that do? Because I'm sure it has some defense in there. Feck, that's not what I clicked on. Okay, it has no defense. Never mind. But that's not the point. Okay, and what's the other equip that we have on here? So I just can get an idea. Okay, so we have these two equips. I'm gonna double check what these equips do and see which one I like better. Here's one. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't really do Frieza Force much. So as a result, my knowledge on Frieza Force is so limited that building Frieza Force, it's like a shot in the dark. Kind of like throw darts and hope that it all works out. Yo. Danger Man, I'm fantastic. How you doing? All right, bye, David. Take care, okay? Base strike attack, base blast attack, base health. Cool. Base strike defense, base blast defense, base blast attack. Okay, I like home better if we're gonna be, if I'm being honest, I like home better than this for this Frieza. But if we're going this and not doing the plat equip, then yeah, this makes more sense. But in that case, what could we run with that unit? I have to look. Let's see. Let's see. I need to find this Frieza and see what else we can offer him, because there are ways to build a character without having to always use their plat equips. So that's why I'm trying to see. Let's see the awakened stuff, because I want to see what can we do with the awakened. Okay, we got defense and then strike attack. Interesting. Special move, blast attack. No. Base strike, base blast, base defense. Nah. Okay, that's not bad. This is not bad, but it also makes me wonder if maybe this is actually still the best. Yeah, no, What a Great Show is probably still the best. Wow, this is pathetic. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. That interests me. That intrigues me. Right here, all over the floor. So yeah, anyways, overall, I think my issue with this team, Frieza Force wise, if I had to just go based upon units, just units alone, this yellow Frieza is outdated. Like, if we're gonna run a Frieza Force unit, Final Form Frieza is a much better unit for this team. Like, a way better unit. So I would definitely run the Final Form Frieza full power, that's LL, over this not Final Form Frieza LL unit. That's all I have to say. So yeah, that's how I feel truly about this. Oh, thank you. Oh, I see, I see. Oh, I didn't understand, David. Sorry. Listen, I'm dense. But otherwise, okay, we got purple, green, red, blue, yellow, Nappa. What? Okay, 1 second. 1 second, guys. I need to double check this because Frieza Force, let's go. Okay, Frieza Force is getting a new green. Blue-wise, Nappa, Broly, Chilai, Assistant First Form, Frieza, EX, or Nibbana are the best options, I would say, for blue. Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't know. If I were you, Wesley, personally, I would be running Nappa over Chilai Broly Chilai, even after the Zenkai. I just feel like I could do a lot more with Nappa at the helm to block cover change. I think that is very valuable, just genuinely. And then the ability to block cover change with this red Vegeta as well, Ape Vegeta, is also fantastic, as well as with the green. So I feel like the more and more units can block cover change, the better your team will be. And I honestly think that I personally value Nappa over the Zenkai. I'm not saying that that's necessarily the correct move. I'm just saying that I personally, if I were to play this team, I'd be valuing Nappa. Just because of that alone, plus his healing. His heal ability is actually, I would say, decently solid. So if you could apply any health restoration to him on top of that, makes him a much stronger team. Yeah. Overall, though, I can definitely say that, yeah, Frieza Force needs some love. This is pathetic, and the devs really need to get on that. So yeah, that is that. All right, let's take a look at the next one. God Key. Green's fine. Okay, purple. Yellow, blue, yellow, red. Okay. So blast, blast, blast. And then this one, it can be both. Yeah, overall, actually, I don't mind this. This is actually pretty good. Okay, I like the setup. The setup is solid. Setup is very defensive, makes the Zamasu extremely tanky. I do like the setup. Yup. He's most likely a Zenkai booster and nothing else, which is fine. Okay. I would like to know what the first slot is. I hope it's base blast. But otherwise, solid. Let's see. What could you do to make this better? Because I think realistically, the only thing that's left for that type of team is the equips. What equips you decide to push, right? Nothing else, realistically. So if I could find God Key just real fast. Actually, you know what? Feck it. I'm just gonna go for characters. This is a pain in my butt. So if we go for characters, let's actually go to yellow. Let's just take a look at this guy. So because I would use him a lot if you know I were in their position, since purple is quite dominant. Let's see some of the awakened stuff. Particularly this one, and this one. You don't have to do this though. Like, this isn't mandatory. I'm just taking a look at these. No. I don't really like these. I mean, you could technically do it on Vegeta, like this one, just because Vegeta has a constant green to buff himself up. But genuinely speaking, like, let's actually take a look at what these equips do. I know what the first equip does. I just need to take a look at the second two, because I don't fully remember them. I just want to see if they're any better or if we should change them. Because, you know, there are chances that we should change them. And if we should, let's do that. Heck, I can't click on things to save my life. Whatever. All right, so base blast attack, base key recovery. But this is fantastic. I don't have anything to say to that. Let's go and check this one, though. Base key recovery, base strike attack, special move damage. That's also actually pretty good. You can't go wrong with either, honestly. Let's take a look. But you do get base key recovery here as well. So, like, I guess it really depends. Do you care more about your healing or your key recovery? Because if you care more about key recovery, then sure. But I personally feel like at that point, you could just swap with Awaken You're Pissing Me Off, and that would be just as good. I wouldn't go with this plat, only because, generally speaking, when you go with this plat, you're going for a more strike-based team. But you could also do it anyways, just because it is a very powerful plat and does help Vegeta out quite a bit. But I don't know. That balances his stats a little bit more. Sometimes you don't want to do that. Otherwise, good team. Solid. Don't have much else to say. All right, let's move on. Open. Open some more now. That's a summons. I'm not looking at summons. I don't care about summons right now. Summons don't mean nothing to me right now. Wait, let me double check. That's a good question, Zephyr. I didn't consider that. 1 second. 1 second. You might be right. Give me a moment, Zephyr. No, this is fine. Unless I didn't understand what you're asking or saying. Oh, Happy New Year, Mike. Sorry, I'm just like right now in deep thought. That's why. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, losers. Let's see. Okay. I mean, this setup is fine too. Like, this is a solid equip. I personally don't care for it as much for PvP purposes, but I definitely see its application in PvP as well, because, like, there are those certain moments where you need just a little bit extra tiny Vanish Gauge back, and this thing supplies the rest of it. So I get that. Plus, it also boosts your ult, not ult, your special. So I get that totally. So that's fine. It's your standard future team with GV, so that's totally fine too. I'm not gonna really look at Mai's equips because I'm just more looking at just the overall team. Yep, the defenses look nice. One thing that I have to say about this equip particularly is that I don't mind it on him, but I do feel like you could actually benefit potentially from a different equip, only because running him means that you always have to run the yellow. Now, granted, chances are you're always going to run the yellow. So I guess the point is moot, better to say. But just in case that you're interested in considering a different equip, let's actually go and take a look real quick. I don't know why I closed it. I shouldn't have closed it. Like, I'm just looking at these equips and I like going based off of things. Now, like I said, these are things to consider. That doesn't mean do it. It just means consider it, considering the setup of your equips and how defensive you're making your Zamasu anyways. Just something to think about. Now, if I can find the equip, because of course I also have to be able to see things with my eyes. That does require, you know, eyes. So obviously these are base, and there's no pure buff. So that's another thing to consider. But it does also give you health, which is nice. What else you got in here? You got this, which does give you health. So that's another reason why you might have done this instead. Because of you already getting health. I get it. So realistically, I don't mind this equip. I just say that if you are doing that, be mindful that you're going to always need to bring in your yellow. That's all. Now, as for the first equip, I do agree. I don't like this equip. I think it's not as good as it could have been. Let's actually take a look at some equips that Trunks could potentially better use, especially with the setup that you've given him. We just open him up real quick. Okay, so we did apply this, which is nice. But I feel like if you're going to apply something like this, Base Blast or Base Strike with special move, you might as well just finish it off. Because even... Okay, so let's put this into perspective real freaking quick, okay? Even if you were only to get 12% boost in your pure buff because of running GV, that is still better than base. with how he's going to be set up. Especially if you have a base strike attack of 30%. Like, there is really no reason to run... Where is it? This equip. In that case. Like, I get what you're going for here. You're trying to go for just pure strike. But I also think that there comes a point where you have to wonder how much base is actually worth. How much can you actually, like, draw from just base alone? Now, before I toot my own horn, before I do that, I just want to double check one thing. Okay, so you have GV. So let me just do something real quick. So before I toot my own horn, I just want to see something. So let's assume 6 stars, all right? Strike and blast. Okay, so 30% for strike, okay? Next up, this dude. Strike, okay? Strike. And this is why I'm pointing out what I'm pointing out. Because of how much I'm seeing strike being implemented here is why I'm saying maybe a pure buff might be a little bit more beneficial. It's not because the equip itself is bad, it's because the team that you have set up with their Z abilities seem to be already emphasizing on your strike. Now, this is defense, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, but wait. 15% to strike if you're future and tag powerful opponent. So, that won't actually apply to him. So, no, that will not apply to him. So, that's irrelevant. So, never mind. Ignore that. So, he doesn't apply that. What was next? Zamasu. I think he's blast and defense. So, but I'll double check. But I believe he is. And then his health. Yes, it's blast and defense. Okay. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, personally speaking, since you already got 3 times 30%, so a total of, like, potential around 90%, and then on top of that, you got another 30% if you were also including the last slot being a strike-based in the middle slot right here. I feel like the extra 10, 10, and 15, not very relevant if you could just do a 12% pure buff from 120%, roughly. Let's highball it actually to 120% because it's not going to actually be 120%. So that is why I'm saying maybe a pure buff could be something to be considered. It's really just because of how he's already very strike dominant. I wonder if you really need that. But otherwise, still good. It's still a fine equip if you're going to play it this way. It's totally fine. And then I don't really have much else to say elsewhere. Like, I'm pretty pleased with the team. Solid team overall. It's a good job. It's going to close these because there's too many equips and too many things in my face. It's annoying. All right, let's take a look at this. This is Vegeta Clan. All right, I figured it out. My brain just died for a second there. Well, yeah, no problem, Alfie. Well, I would have been concerned if you put it as Blast, obviously. I'd be like, you gotta rework that if it were Blast. That's why I assumed it was Strike. Alright, so. Here are my thoughts immediately. I don't know who this is. I like this equip. Great. If you're gonna run this equip, awaken it. Like this as it is. No bueno. No. Absolutely not. And then this equip, sure, you could run it on this dude. But it's such a waste considering there is almost no health restoration, abuse outside of this equip and their own kit. The whole point of this dude is to abuse it. And that's why we run at the very minimum. Like, this could be easily fixed if they just wanted to work on one awakened equip. Well, actually, two. They would have to work on two. I lied. It's two. One, this one. Get some base strike or blaze blast. I don't actually fecking care which one they pick. I personally prefer strike because I like to have a specific setup, but you can go blast, and I think it would be honestly still effective. And then I have to go down. I have to scroll down. Awaken this, please. Just do it. Like, heck. Just awaken this. It's not even that difficult to do that because it's a silver equip, so it's actually pretty simple. So please, the setup could be so much better already for just your GV alone. Oh, no problem, guys. No problem. And yes, I will get to your things. Don't worry. Yeah, it's not awakened. Take a look. It's not awakened. See? Does that look awakened to you, Zephyr? Last time I checked. One doesn't look like the other. Like, I would have been a little bit less hard on this had this been awakened and this was just there. But this isn't even awakened. So this with this, but no awakening, to me, still is a jumbled mess. Even if it was awakened, it's just even worse now. So, yeah, that's why we pay attention, guys. This is why we pay attention. And this is why I make this my job. So I pay attention to what's going on. Okay. All right, so. Okay. This looks very strike-based. And if it is going to be very strike-based, here's what I have to say. If you're going to put a very strike-based team together, please, with this Evo Vegeta, please. Where are you? Run this plat, please. If you are going to make a strike-based team, you might as well go all the way. That includes even with some blast-based characters, because let me be real with you, Strike Evo Vegeta will still be extremely exceptional, and he will still ramp up with his blasts, even without equips. So, you don't really have to worry about Strike or Blast. Actually, in fact, if you build him for Strike, his Blast will still be very solid. His Strike will also be very solid, but his Blast will ramp. We like that. That's still very good. Would I say it's better than just pure Blast Evo? Probably not, but you can still make it really good. This, however, is just, I don't know what this is. Because, first off, at this point, I think we're in a meta at this point where minimum A is not enough. Not enough. So the first slot should be at least gold. Very minimum. And then if we were to actually take a look at the characters and see what he can actually abuse, we're going to find... What? What are we going to find? Okay, since it's strike-based... Yeah, since it's strike-based, he might as well run the plat. I'm assuming it's he, but I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. That's fine. It's Vegeta Clan, right? Yeah, you could fucking run this boundary-breaking Vegeta. This is a fantastic equip if you're... Which Trunks? The SOH? Because I agree if you're talking about SOH. Yo, Azza, how you doing? If you're talking about SOH instead of GV, I agree, 100%. He would definitely benefit more on the leader slot. Happy New Year to you, Azza. Zephyr, are you referring to SOH? Because I agree with that, 100%. Okay, so we're on the same page. Yep. I agree with that. SOH as the leader would be better than GV. GV is usually placed on teams like Future, where, you know, SOH is already thriving, so GV is just rounding it out. But this is Vegeta Clan, and Vegeta Clan is already well buffed with GV as it is, that SOH needs to be in that leader slot, and I agree. So yeah, guys, and this applies to everyone from now on. S is the minimum. Also, when you're thinking about building your equips, think about the synergy between your equips. What do your equips offer? Do they synergize? For example, if you have a multiple of one particular base strike attack buff, look around, see if there's a pure buff, a pure strike attack buff that you can use. Basically, the difference between pure and base is that it will say base strike attack, but if it's a pure, it will just say, where is it? It'll just say to strike attack. And pure will apply after all the base has been applied. And then there's a lot of other issues that I could go for hours on this. There are better equips for this. You could run you can run a plat equip for this dude for defense. You can make him very defensive. You can also make him very offensive. I'm confused by these two equips. Like I said, I can give a pass to this under certain circumstances, but these two don't make sense to me as well. Like I said, you're gonna run someone like this. You have access to other equips that are exceptionally good, like this. Like this. Like this. I mean, hell, you could run that. This. I mean, hell, you could run that too. I honestly believe even this one. And I'm particular. I particularly like this one. This one I think is really good. But you know, to each their own. This is also actually really good. You can really build him around this as well. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying it's very solid. You could also do this if you just want just general stats and be also, you know, both, yeah, just general stats. Also fantastic. You could. I don't personally like this, but you can. And I wouldn't really say too much. This is always fantastic with health and restoration and just overall defense. If you're making a hybrid version of SOH, then this is also fantastic to run for future, while also implementing defense. Fantastic. I personally don't care for this as much, but you can if you want just general stats. And then this I don't really like as well, but you could do it! Right? And it would still be better. It would still be better than these two equips as they are combined. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So there you go. That was a whole bunch of equips that I just showed that I think would honestly fit that character way better. Even if some of them were mediocre in comparison to other equips that I also showed that were there. Okay, Phil J, can you help me please find the SSB Vegeta Awaken equip that came out? I can't find it. There is no Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Awaken equip. Not that I know of. Unless you're talking about a general one. If you're talking about the general one, you're probably referring to this one. There he is. This is it. This is the one. And it's for basically all defense. You can run him on that. That's his generic one that is applied to a lot of different future units. If that's what you're looking for, he has that. If there's a different equip that I'm not thinking about, guys, let me know in the comments, because I don't see any other equip that he could be running for Vegito Blue. Unless you're talking about like Super Vegito, in which case, yes, there is a plat equip for just his Saga. But considering you put B in there, I'm assuming you really mean blue. In which case, I don't think there's anything else. Like, yeah. I think that's all I'm going to say. I really wanted to cover the 3 most important units. I did. So we're going to move on. Close some of these. All right, Meta Clan. I wish. It was so close. So close to meta. It was so close to meta. Just, it missed the mark. It really missed. Okay. 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 I have to remember what this equip does, so give me one moment, guys. Because I have to remember what that does. I don't remember. Like, I look at the equip and I go, cool. I don't know what it does, so let me just double check real quick. Okay, so we got base strike defense, base blast attack, or base blast defense, and then strike attack when... Okay, so it's pure buff. Okay, cool. So pure buff. Feck, I don't remember what that does. Feck me. Open that up. And let's see, where the feck are you? Why can I not see the equip that was there? Even though it's actually being run on that dude. What the feck? Where is it? Why am I blind? Am I blind? I think I am. Oh, here it is. Near the bottom, that's why. Defense, special move, base health. Cool. Okay. Defense. I think he's strike. Definitely strike. Blast. Strike. Okay. Yeah, I can see this. That's fine. Yeah, this is totally acceptable. I get it. I personally think that if you're gonna run this, you should probably not run this. If you're gonna run this, I think you should be running... Where is it? Go into him. This one. If you're gonna run that one, if you're gonna run that first equip right there that you have, which is totally acceptable, I would replace this, run this. Otherwise, overall, not much to complain about. This is still fine as it is. This is very strike-based, so yeah, this is totally fine. And then, yep, overall, like, I think the realistic thing that's next up on your list is to get them to Zed. And maybe re-roll for some of these equips. Like, for example, this equip, I understand it's Zed, but I think if you can get it eventually to have your first slot be gold or red, that would be fantastic. But otherwise, I mean, overall, good job on the red. I still don't, to this day, have the third slot at red, so unlucky me, I guess. Yeah, otherwise, overall, I like the setups. I think for the most part, it's solid. You could technically question the double pure buff because of the limited Z ability pool for strike, but at the same time, I feel like you could also get away with it too. So, you know, potato. Overall, solid. I like it. I think the only issue, if I had to be quite clear, is the fact of the matter is, despite you having Gogeta here as your green, it really kills SOH's ability to play in the game. I think that's the one nitpick I have. Like, if you're gonna bring in Gogeta, you're essentially forced to bring in MV, and I know that. I know that you've pretty much acknowledged that, but I'm just saying that not having access to an endurance unit just because you don't have the right green sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's move on. For Ultra Super Gogeta, time to go wild awakened is a must, right? Let me just double check. I feel like it depends. You know, it's interesting because I think it also depends on how you build, but let me just see which one we're referring to. I believe I know which one you're referring to, so just give me a moment. No, I don't know which one you're talking about, so let me just double check. Feck. I am fecking this up real bad. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. Okay. Base strike defense, base blast defense, special move damage, ultimate damage, health restoration. Yes, it is a must. You're right. Yes, it is. And yes, 100%. It's a must. Yeah, and if you're gonna run this equip, you can also still in tandem run this equip because this is a really good equip. Awakened, or if you don't want to run the awakened version, you can always run this version as well. Just note to self, if you are running this version along with this, please consider throwing, like, let's say a health buffer, like a health buff equip, or just anything of general that could help impact UL Gogeta a bit better. So, for example, an equip that could really work with him if you're going to run the non-awakened plus the It's Time to Go Wild. Let me just double check these two because I can't remember which one was which. This one could be actually really good. And then I wouldn't run this one if you're not going for the defensive. If you're going defensive, then you can run this one. But if you're running offensive, I would 100% recommend the Awaken Ha. But problem is, I don't think the Awaken Ha is out right now. So that's another thing to consider. Is GV good enough at 4 stars, or must he be higher? You can definitely run him at 4 stars. You don't need him higher. However, obviously having him higher gives you more chances to make mistakes. So, I mean, technically speaking, any unit can be better just by having higher stars. But yes, he is very serviceable at 4. I just fought someone using 14-star Ultra Gogeta, SOH Trunks, and SSB boys with Z-star equips. But why? Why are they running SOH with SSB boys and Ultra Gogeta if they don't have their endurance up? Like, okay, whatever. It's fine. I mean, the Awaken equipped with SSB... Oh, SSJB. Oh, you're talking about this one. Okay. Yeah, so if you're talking about this one, how to get it, you can get... Okay, so let me just find... Because it should tell you where to get it. It doesn't? Cool. That's fantastic. I think it's from the shop. You can get them from the shop. Heck me. I'm hungry. Okay, I like this equip. Fantastic. This is actually, ironically, a very good equip on the yellow. Future Gohan. So you could actually run it on him. But I just genuinely feel that if you're going to run this Trunks, not running his plat equip really hurts him. Because just having health and defense is really solid. Now, I'm not going to say too much just because this is Roar. And Roar is a very offensive player. Doesn't mind defense, but mainly wants to be offensive. So I get it. I'm not going to try to mess up your setup because I get it. You're still running some defense while particularly maintaining to offense. I get it. I'll leave you alone. Otherwise, like, generally speaking, it's fine. And there it is. At the very bottom. Yeah. No, overall, it's fine. Like, could it be better, this team? Yes. But I'm assuming you don't have all the units, so I can't really speak on it on your behalf for that. So, overall, fine. All right. Feck you, Gohan. Fair enough. All right, let's see. What we got here? We have... Yo, Emily. Could you put the iPad on charge? Here. I'll give it to you on this side. Thank you. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay. Health buffer. Okay. Okay. I see. Boosting Majub in order to make him more tanky. Got it. I'm sure there are improvements here, but considering it's U-Roar, I'm not going to try to push too hard on the improvements. Team-wise, it's almost perfect. I think the only difference is you don't have UL Gogeta, but I think that's fine. VB is still very serviceable in this meta. Because UL Gogeta has definitely taken a spot. But that doesn't change the fact that VB is still a fantastic unit. I think people that are underselling VB at this point because of UL Gogeta just are underselling him more so than... Like, UL Gogeta is fantastic. But VB is still solid. Like, really good. Honestly, I think VB still is serviceable in this meta, which is hilarious. Despite being, like, what? A year and a half old at this point, I think? A year and a half? He was brought out second Annie, so... Yeah, I think so. Roughly a year and a half. It's crazy. Good on you, VB. I know that people are pretty much dropping you and making memes about you, but you're still seen. So, kudos to that unit. I hated that unit when he first came out. Yeah. But otherwise, good boy. Good unit. I think the only thing I would really have to say, Roar, again, is just maybe reroll this equip, get it to at least like a gold or red slot, and just make sure to try to push for Z equips. Use time. All right, let's take a look. This is... What is this? Is this God Key or Future? Looks like Future, but then it has Evo. Honestly, yeah, I think everyone did at KKFG, but also, to be fair, VB meta was a thing where VB was pretty much required against a good player to beat another good player. I mean, there was a reason why VB was pretty much auto-banned from tournaments. Which is dumb. He never gave Omega a chance, and Omega was the second best unit from that anniversary. And Omega didn't stand a chance as well and had to be banned in tournaments too, just because if you banned VB, then Omega would run rampant. But if you ran VB, then Omega just didn't get to shine at all. It was hilarious. Like, when you consider that. And UL Gogeta's doing the same thing now to the Omega Shenron. It's not that Omega Shenron's bad. It's that UL Gogeta just completely murders Omega. Like, the red Omega. They're doing Omega dirty twice in a row. And I think that's horrible. Oh, I know, Alfie. 100% Evo is a replacement to the yellow Future Han, but I think at that point, if I were this person, I'd just run the free-to-play Rosé. You can definitely take it to high ranks. Free-to-play Rosé is a lot better than people give it credit for. Sussy God Key. Exactly. The free-to-play Rosé is a lot better than people give it credit for. And I'm not saying that people undervalue it, but there are people that do, like with anything. And I think that's a shame considering. Overall, I think this person's on the right track, though. So I don't really have much to say. I mean, I would probably put the the Plat equip here. Personal reasons. I mean, also defense is always nice. I know this is a defensive equip, but I also wonder. You know, if you decide to change this to the free-to-play Rosé, I mean, yes, it still works because it's God Key, so yay. But at the same time, I just like Plat equip with health. Give yourself the health you deserve, you know? And then health restoration. I think that's a little bit more of a gimmick at this point for SOH. Actually, it's not, is it? Because he gets 2. He gets his main ability, plus he also gets from when his meter hits. So actually, no, it's not as much of a gimmick as I thought. You could actually abuse the health restoration to a certain minimality. And that's nice, actually. So yeah, I think that's another reason why I really like the Plat. Otherwise, like, team is fine, I guess. It's just Red obviously is underwhelming because at 2 stars, and then Evo I feel like could be just replaced with the free-to-play. But otherwise, solid. Don't have too much to say. All right, let's take a look at this. What the heck is this? Okay, this is movies, I think. More or less. Yes, movies plus Super Vegito. Yeah, that's what this is. Emily, could you ban another bot, please? Or God of Quack, ban a bot, please, for me. Kipar Rian. Or Kipar Riane. I don't want this bot in here. Get this bot out of here. So, Roar, if you are there, ban the bot. Kill it. Kill it with fire. No bots in my stream. Unless you're a friendly bot. But that's not a friendly bot. It just said VOT FYI. And I took that personally. Okay, it's really hard for me to gauge this team. A, because I don't see the equips. So I don't know what the feck is going on here. Second, it looks like it wants to be a mono purple team, but then they were just like, nah, we're gonna make it movies. And I don't know what to I don't know how to feel about that. I'm gonna be quite real with you. So obviously some improvements that I can see straight off the bat. Zenkai 7, please. Zenkai 7 on this one as well. Since everything is movies, you would actually benefit more if you put Super Vegeta in the leader slot. Other than, obviously, this guy, he's Fusion Warriors, I think, primarily. But I have to double check, but I believe he's Fusion Warrior primarily. Like, even though he's a movies character, he doesn't buff movies, so let me just double check that, but I believe I'm correct in that assumption. Because I barely use him now. I used to use him, so I used to know, but now I don't remember, so here we are. Yeah, just Fusion Warrior. So, this is why I say what I say. Put, SV in the leader slot. Everyone else will kind of work their way through things, through life pretty well, and you'll be good. You'll be Gucci. It's kind of like playing mono purple, just with extra colors. That's what I have to say. I'm a robot. Ban the BBT permanently. I'm a bot. Oh my god. Wait, wrong emoji. How much longer are you going to be live? I just want to know if it's too late to submit my team. Samville, you can definitely submit your team. I still have time, so come and submit the team, please. Come submit it. I will 100% look at it because I'm going to go be going through a lot of teams because I got interrupted by other people. Okay. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on here. Subarashi! All right, we got the Tin Man. We got... Okay. Okay. Double health. Okay. Okay. Interesting. That interests me. Overall, the team is fine. Obviously, either A, they don't like Zamasu Goku Black Assist, or they didn't pull him, or they just want to be extremely offensive, and Green Goku Black does facilitate that. That's what I have to assume here. Yeah, overall, I feel like, yeah, there's certain things that you could do better. Like, I would personally remove these two equips and replace them with other equips that I feel like would be way better, that are, like, an awakened equip for him. I've already showed it many times, so I don't feel like I'm going to show it again. But, like, there are equips that you could run on this that outclass this regular gold equip. However, overall, as a team, solid. Don't really have much to say about it, like, in terms of negativity. It's a good team. Could it use a bit more diversity, like more defensive play outside of just endurance units and cover change? Sure. But for what it is, solid. I would just definitely say that, if I were you, definitely work on your plat equips, make them better. And then maybe consider removing these with some awakened equips that I've already shown in the past, like what you could run on these guys, and that'll be good. Otherwise, good team. All right, it's green. That ability bonus is quite low for a mono purple team. I'm not even trying to throw shade. I'm actually being serious. That's actually quite low for a mono purple team in terms of like ability bonus. The average ability bonus that I see from a mono purple team usually is about like 5k. So being 1,000 below is actually quite problematic. And a lot of it definitely has to do with the equips that I'm seeing here too. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay, so first off, the leader is GV, which is fine, but I would personally think, if I were this person, to consider putting SV in the leader slot. It greatly rounds out the team a bit more because you're already buffing pretty much everyone in this team due to their stuff outside of the movies section. And then SV just really helps buff everyone else that you're running alongside. So that's just something to consider, you know. I found greater success when SV was in the leader slot than GV. I know a lot of people just want to auto place GV in the leader slot, but SV being in the leader slot really is beneficial. Like I said with this equip, if you're going to run certain equips, that's fine, but just be considerate about the fact that he's got really good equips. Like this is some low tier equip right here that I'm seeing right here. Do you see this shit? Do you see this? This is why I don't run this. This I understand. I totally can give a pass to it, but come on, at least run one of these two equips alongside this. Like one of these two. I don't care which one. Personally, I would go for the plat, but if you had to, go with the weekend. Let's go Vegeta. Just do it. Just do it. You can do it even now. That's what I'm saying. Get rid of this equip. Get rid of this Beerus equip. Or alternatively, if you really are somehow attached to this, get rid of this and then get me the awakened or the plat, please. Just do something. He's sad. They're both sad. They're looking at you angrily and they're like, "Why are you setting me up like this?" That's all I have to say. Okay, so when it comes to the buffs, since we're going for a lot of strength-based buffs, I would definitely say that maybe actually also going for a pure buff equip could actually be hyper beneficial for this team. So, this Tin Man equip is going to be actually phenomenal. Why? Because if you are running any melee type character on him while also giving him a ton of buffs to his strike damage, then basically what you're saying is you want to murder your opponent. And reason why, it's not even because of the Z abilities. No, it's actually because of the Zenkai abilities. Just the Zenkai abilities alone and how much you're stacking onto GV allows Tin Man to make GV hit like a truck. It's not Tin Man itself is exceptional, it's that because of how the team functions, Tin Man can be exceptional. So, yeah, something to consider. If you're running mainly Zenkai buffs plus Z ability strike, consider Tin Man. Especially if you have a melee type character on your team that isn't GV. You will essentially murder units. Not hurt them, murder. Seeing it in play, it's excruciatingly terrifying. So, yeah, Mono Purple can definitely do that, but you gotta set him up properly. What website is this? Oh, guys, the website for this is DBZ Space. So if I type it in, DBZ Space, fuck, I can't type. So DBZ Space, it has Dokkan Dragon Ball Legends. So what you should do is you should also add in Dragon Ball Legends to your type in search. Click on that, and it will bring you straight to this. And then I have it also like, then you can go to characters if you want to see characters, go to items if you want to see equipment and stuff, and job requests and crap like that. Generally speaking, I already have it like saved as like a homepage because it's fantastic. I also have saved Game Press because, you know, as much as I hate Game Press, it's always nice to look at what they're doing wrong and then make fun of them for it. So that's important. You remember the small things in life matter. Okay. So that's something to consider. You can always make fun of something that shouldn't exist in this world, but still does because they are outdated and refuse to die. You can always do that. All right. Okay, Phil, is there any else besides Discord I could submit my team? If not, that's cool too. So Samville. Right now I'm only using Discord, but if you want, you can send it to me on Instagram or on Twitter, and I'll try to get back to you on that on my own time. This is right now I'm keeping it to Discord because it really helps with keeping me focused. That's all. But yeah, I don't like the Beerus equip. Tin Man equip. Yeah, it's not available right now, Wesley, but it will be. That's the beauty of Tin Man. It will eventually come. And when it does, rejoice. You'll be able to murder things. That'll be great. Don't worry, Wesley. It'll come soon. And when it does, rejoice. You will murder things. or whoever's team of this is. It will be murdering time. Okay. Outside of this, personally, I really like future Vegeta because of his ability to kind of starve off the Rising Rush and make the team a little trickier. But this team as it is also fine. Overall, yeah. And also, I do agree with Zephyr. This equip, it's got to go. You got no Fusion Warriors. Don't run a plat equip if it doesn't have anywhere. It doesn't have any business being here. If you're gonna run a plat equip for SV on this team, let me give you a plat equip to replace it with, because clearly you're running the wrong plat equip, and I am clearly scrolling far too down. Either that or I just can't see. Probably both. Feck, where's purple? I can't even see purple. Feck me. There it is. Go at him. Okay. So he's a melee type. So Tin Man makes him great, right? But for GV. But what about him? Well, can't run this equip, but you can run this one. Yay! Base strike, base defense, key recovery. Oh my god, it's amazing. So just run that instead. So for example, reason why we don't run this one is because this one wants a Fusion Battle War member. This one wants Fusion Warrior Battle member. This will apply, but the problem is, where the feck are your Fusion Warrior Battle members? You'd have to pretty much run Zamasu all the time, and even then it's not perfect because you need to run a total of 3 to actually fully benefit from this Super Vegeta equip. So, yeah, don't run it, please. All right, that's enough. We're moving on to the next team because I've had enough of that. Mono Purple has stained on my face long enough, and I can't see this any further, so this is as close as we're getting. I can't really see the team other than what the team is, so let's talk about the team as it is. It's good. I don't really have much to say. I mean, you could argue that you should run Majube instead of Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, but you can't really go wrong with either. And then if you want to do a Zenkai booster for UL Gogeta instead of a health buffer, I mean, totally, go for it. And yeah, that's it. That's all I can say about the team, so let's move on. Alrighty. We already have a problem. If you're running this Gohan, feck me. This is like a full-time job. But to be fair, I signed up for this. So, as a result, well, let's do it. I actually kind of enjoy this. I just like to complain because I'm a complainer. Emily, am I a complainer? Yep, I'm a complainer. So exactly. So it works out. It's actually totally fine. Okay, this is Awakened, so I do appreciate that. Good. But get this equipped, damn it. If at the very minimum, if you're gonna run, FSK, and you are okay with building him suboptimally, put double plat. Just put double plat. Like, get rid of this equip right here. Right here. Just put the extra plat. You can keep this there and just go wild. He'll be solid still. He won't be necessarily top tier, but he'll be solid. He'll be really solid, and he'll be doing damage and whenever you have a blast, and it'll be great. So just please do that. Like, thank you. Okay, moving on. Must I even explain why I think that this is just poor choices? Must I? I will. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me explain why poor choice. Where the feck is Nameku? I would love Nameku to show up right here. There we go. There's Nameku. Okay. Let's take a look at some equips that you could definitely run on him. That would be already way better than what's being currently ran or run or anything like that. Let's take a look. So, okay. So let's take a look at this. This isn't perfect, but already better than what we have. This is much better. You can set on base blast with base strike, base key recovery, and special move, and you'll be doing a lot of damage. Honestly, if I'm gonna recommend one of them, Awaken Cha is fantastic. You should definitely go for it. You did it right, Gohan. It depends on what you actually want. If you are looking for a solid, like, just pure strike defense buff, then this equip is great. If you're looking for just general defense from Saiyans, then you're not running FSK, so I wouldn't recommend this. This is actually still really good, even if LOE isn't present in the meta, but obviously, if it is, it's even better. Generally speaking, you can drop this. You do not have to run this, because this is more of an optional plat equip, especially since it's Awakened, but even on top of that, it's optional because LOE isn't really prominent in the meta. So I feel like they really did Nameku a little dirty with this equip just because he never really has access to his third slot all the time. But otherwise, if we were to actually like go for, if I were to pick my three equips, Chia is one of them. I personally wouldn't do that one. So I go Chia, okay? I would go, where the feck are you? I think it's this one. Dirty Fireworks. I would be going for Base Blast with Key Recovery and Special Move. I think that's a fantastic one for this guy. And then on top of that, for the last one, I personally would go with this one. Now, I am a big believer in Nameku just being a monster and less so defensive because his counter acts as a defensive move. So my belief in this is pretty much murder with the blue card. That is how I would build him. Now, of course, take my advice because I'm not using it and not using Nameku. So, that, there you go. But otherwise, that's how I'd build him. Use those 3 equips. So, there you go. I did the work for you for this entire roster. I've already done GV so many times, I'm going to skip them. At this point, you need to know what you need to do. Yeah. Equips suck. Okay, PSA announcement. Equips suck. But we got to deal with it because equips are quite vital to the game at this point. You could get away with it in the past, but the GV SOH meta changed that completely. Changed it completely. A used to be the minimum standard. It's now S. So I feel bad for players that have just started the game and are just like, but people were saying A before. Yeah, sorry, it's already changed. Got a quack. Ban Grantley Kiel. It's up in the chat. He said Vask Tech. It's a bot. We just want to get rid of the bots. We want to kill all the bots in the chat. Kill the bot. Kill the bot. Chant, kill the bot. Thank you, Ahmed. I appreciate that. But overall, like, for Sun Family Team, it's like, the units are there. It's just pretty much now a matter of which equips you're running on it. What is Pure Equips? So Pure Equips is just like, so there are 2 equips. So let's actually bring out an example because it would be easier to show it than to explain it. So a Pure Equip is when you are, you know what, screw it. Let me just bring out 2 equips so I can show you because this is going to be a pain in the butt otherwise. Okay. We're going to use that one because it's just a plat. It's fun. It's simple. It's simplay. And we're going to use this one. All right. So they don't synergize, but that's not the point. So you see this base strike attack is just referring to a base. So you have your general stats on a unit. A base strike attack will apply itself to your general stat. So you'll get 15 to 35% to your general stat with this base strike attack, depending on where it is on the percentage. So let's say it's at 30%. So if your attack is, let's say, 200k, you apply 30% of 200k, you add that together. That is your new stat bonus for your strike attack. Now, here's the difference. If you read something that says just strike attack and not base, what it's referring to is once you've applied all your base strikes, all your base strike attacks, everything, then you apply just the strike attack. So a pure buff is when you're applying it after the fact of all the other buffs. And this is why they have lower percentages for pure buffs. The reason for it is because if you were to give pure buffs way too high of a percentage, you could literally break a unit's attack stat. And that's very dangerous. So they've had to lower the pure buffs because let's say you've done 30% while you have 200k, and then another 30% or another 20% or 15 or 10, and then you add your 12.5% after you've added all that. So you now take the new stat value, not the base, the new stat value after all the base stats have been added. The pure buff will then apply the 12.5 to the new total, not to the base total. So it won't be 200k anymore. It will be whatever the total amount was before the pure buff. And that's the difference. But it's honestly really complicated to explain. So basically, if I were to dumb this down into like one sentence, base, so you have 10, you add 30% to 10, so that's 13. Your pure buff is about 2%. So you take a look at the 2%. It's about like a little bit over 3. You add that, you have about 16 point something as your attack stat. It's crazy. It exponentially increases the more you've added. So that's why. Anyways, that is pretty much that. I hope that explains it. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, but you'll eventually get it. It will one day click. All right, we're going to move on, but otherwise, decent team. Good boy, Sun Fam. Remember when Sun Fam was scary? Anyways, okay, this is just a flex. Good flex. Continue on. This is another flex. Okay, good. Continue on. Power! All right, so let's move on. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I hope that explained it. But it just means that you have to be careful because pure buffs, just as pure buffs alone without any actual buffs, like base buffs, is not good. A pure buff only is just as bad as just doing all base. Actually, no. All base is better than just all pure buff. So it really just, you need to balance. You need a proper balance. Usually I'd like to do 2 base to 1 pure buff ratio type of thing. Sometimes 3, depends. Okay. Super Saiyans. I see, I see. All right, so since you're doing Super Saiyans, word of advice. I know it's crazy, but this is the one moment where SV in the leader slot doesn't make any sense, and I'll tell you why. I thought for the longest time too that, yeah, SV makes sense, right? But no, you want your Super Saiyans to get buffed. The best way to do that is to get your Bardock in there. If you throw Bardock in the leader, he's going to be buffing SV. He'll be buffing everyone, including your Gohan, right? And your yellow Gohan can be very, very useful. Whereas if you put SV in there, yes, you can buff SVs to the Gohan. But the one problem that you don't have, the one problem you're having here is that your Bardock is just sitting there as a sitting duck. You want your Bardock to be buffed enough that he can survive. Because once you lose Bardock, you just have a vanilla team. Your team vanilla, because your team is built around crit buffs. So the whole point is not actually to power everyone else up, it's to make sure that Bardock can last. And the way you've set it up already, Bardock is going to die. Even with all the health buffs and defense you put there. He's going to die. So put him in the leader slot, fix this up, save his life, because his life matters. Okay? Bardock life matters. Wow, that was almost political. Okay. Anyways, point is, make your Bardock good. Right? Make him good. He's gonna die. So, yeah, switch it. Because SV will survive. SV's got the means to survive. You want Bardock to survive. Anyways, point being, otherwise, fine. Wait a minute, who am I? I don't know who I am. I'm Sir PP. That's who I am. Okay. Anyways, outside of that, good man. Okay. Okay. Feel like you could improve this guy, make him better with a better equip, like setup. Outside of that, it's decent. I mean, I could improve this more, but otherwise, I think the main contingency problem that I have with this is just the placement of Bardock and SV. That's all. Outside of that, I have less problems. That's all. Oh, Phil, I meant the person named Nashwin. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, we're all internet people. Also, what the feck is going on here? Why is there a black dot in front of the... Why did you set... Why does it look like it's 50,000? What the feck? Zephbot, what did you do? What did you do? All right, Danger Man, let's open this up. I'm gonna have to look at Zeph's team in a moment. Because I feel attacked personally because of that weird spacing. That weird spacing makes me feel attacked. Okay, we're gonna keep going down the list. All right. Oh, iPhone. Okay, that's why. All right, fair. Anyways. Oh, I have to set my equips 1 second. I mean, not my equips, my adventures, I think. Yep, I do. All right, so let's take a look. I want to double check that equip because I don't remember it. Let me just double check it real quick. Reattempt. Let's go. Back. There he is. Okay. Not bad. For health, that's fine. Oh, you're working on the A equips? Yep. Okay. So I'm assuming, Zeph, you're really going for hyper defense. Like with SOH. Alright, that's fine. I don't mind that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so Zephyr, I think you know this, but I feel like you could also work on this equip, make it also awaken. There's a lot you could do with this setup. I feel like he's right now very vanilla and basic. I'm assuming you know this though. But yeah, overall, like, equip choices not bad. I feel like you're trolling here, which a lot of people do with the health buffer. They don't care. And yeah, reroll this, get a better version of this equip. Honestly, like, there's really no reason not to. It's such a good equip, you might as well at least get it to gold. At least. You know, do yourself that favor. And then, yeah. Pretty much what I have to say. Otherwise, it's fine. Okay. Discord my. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look. This is a... Is this future or God key? Could be both. Honestly, could be either. That's the thing. I don't know what this is going to be. It looks strike-based, though. I think. Is it red, yellow, yellow? I mean, that would actually be quite an interesting setup. I'm not saying it's any good. I'm just saying it's quite an interesting setup if you do that. Yeah, but see, what I'm thinking is you could go for a 30% base strike, right? Zephyr, if you just go for 30% base strike on this one, if you wanted more strike, you could do that because, like, we take a look at this just real quick. You're already doing a lot of defense plus 20. If you're gonna do 20, at that point you might as well just do 30. You get a lot of defense still. You get also a special move up, and you also get base strike up to 30. So I mean, like, your argument sound, except for the fact that you could just use the Awaken, just you wait, or Android's number 1 in that case. By that logic. Right? And that's why I'm saying, Zephyr, what I'm saying. Anyways, this damn equip, get rid of it. This team is already Garbaggio just because of this equip alone. So, therefore, that is what I'm saying. The Saucinator knows what's up. Thank you. There ain't no EX Saiyan battle member. So that's what I'm just saying. Like, cut this crap out and get rid of it. It's Garbaggio. It pains me when I look at this shit. It makes me sick to my stomach. No. Absolutely not. Team is automatically garbage because of that. Just that alone, you pissed me off. Not actually, but you've pissed me off enough that I don't want to look at the team anymore. Wow, that's weirdception. Okay, we're gonna not look at me. All right, movies. Okay. Okay. Okay, so to be fair, I think I've only gone over this once, so we're gonna go over it again, real quick. You have many options here. Go with that one. Go with that one. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Those are already fantastic options. Many options to choose from, you know? Just saying. So this was a fantastic option if you want to go for a more defensive style. This is for a more offensive style. This one's if you want just your general defense plus some really nutty extra things, which is nice. This one's for just generic stuff, but it's not out yet, so you're going to have to wait. This one's if you just want more like base kit control and then some offensive power, which is nice. It's always nice to have awesome offensive power. This one's if you want your generic, but like still some extra BS. And then this one's also fantastic if you just want some extra oomph defense while also sometimes going chow. Or if you're just Super Saiyans, because you know base critical is always nice with that. So yeah, there are options, and no, you could run this. This is totally fine, actually. This equip is fine. So like, if we were to actually go and look at this character, and we were to actually look at that equip specifically, Beck, I didn't mean to do that. This is fine. Special move, base strike, and base health. You could definitely do that, but I just feel like you're really doing it only for the base health, and at that point, you know, you might want to go for that defensive equip. The defensive version of the thing you're not running at all. So yeah, you know, pure buff, plat buff equips are fantastic. You should definitely run that. Okay. All right. On to the right step. If you're going this far, might as well round it off with your plat equip. Just fully abuse the plat, please. Just abuse his kit, please. For the love of everything, abuse the kit. I mean, oh my god, you have the blue on the Gokua, yet you don't have it on the Gogits? What the feck is going on? What the feck is going on? Feck. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Overall, it's fine. Like, it's still way better than before. Like I said, setup is fine. This setup is fine too. I mean, you could definitely make this better. You're not even running the EX buffer for this. You had that one EX buffer that I believe is out now, and you can easily grab like multiple copies of. You could replace this equip with that, and you'd be giving more stats to Goku. Although I doubt you'd be running Goku at this point, since hybrids isn't literally like at all seen much anymore in the meta. So you all Gogeta specifically could just run this equip that you're running on him and just replace probably this one, kill it off. It'd be good. Phil, why is everybody pulling double, triple LFs today? Because it's that anniversary thing, which, to be fair, I should probably pull eventually too, but I'm probably gonna pull it in the video. 'Cause I haven't made a video yet. I have to definitely talk about whether it's worth it, whether the bags are worth it, that sort of crap. I gotta figure out, is it worth spending $100 for a bag on a mobile game? That's my life. I have to figure out if that's worth it or not. So I have to actually look at the value of the bag itself. Crazy. Which makes me wonder, if people have already, all the units have 14 stars, why would you buy the bag? You know? In my head, I'm just like, why you buy the bag if you have everything at 14 already? The bag is useless to you. And yeah, people do it. Crazy. But whatever, fine. Overall, I feel like there are better equips on this, but I really wanted to hyper-focus on some of the main ones, like your UL Gogeta and GV. Those are the ones that I would really want to focus on. Goku could definitely be improved. Run this equip with that equip, while also changing this equip to the Awaken for the blue. Not Awaken, sorry, the Gold for the blue, but for EXs specifically. So if we go to blue, I'll show you which equip I'm referring to. Just have to find Goku. There he is. I'll show you the one I'm talking about, because I know it by heart once I see the equip. There it is. So this is the equip for C. It's called CU. And it's fantastic for blue units, EX blue units. Base strike defense up to 25, base blast defense up to 25, base strike attack up to 25, base blast attack up to 25, and you also get base health up to 12. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So, yeah. So, yeah, that you know, that's something to consider when you replace this. Otherwise, you know, team itself is solid. I have nothing really much to say about it. It's a standard movies team. Solid stuff. Good job. Godoki! Huh? Huh? Uno momento. I am trying to figure shit out, and I'm not sure what's going on. So give me a moment, guys. Give me a fecking moment. Okay. What do you do at 6? 30% of the future in God Key, and 15% of the most future and powerful opponent. Best strike attack. Do you really need strike attack is the question. No, you're mainly blast. Although you are... No, wait a second. I'm confused. 1 second. Okay. Back. Are you blast or strike? You're not making this easy. You look more balanced. Okay. Let's see. What do you do? Strike, blast, 15, saga, strike. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Interesting. That intrigues me real good. Okay. So in that case, from what I'm seeing here, you probably benefit more from putting the green in your leader slot or GV in your leader slot. Honestly, those are your two options. I don't care which one you pick. Depends on what you're going to use more. And on top of that, it also depends on how much you're going to use them. The blue one in there, it kind of feels like a waste of time. Actually, it doesn't really do anything for you. If I'm going to be real. Because we want to abuse those last percentage buffs right here. And this is strike. And then the other one is defense, so I guess it depends on what you want, but I also do believe that he buffs this one by technicality of this guy being in a movie. So, yeah. How about a God rank PvP grind video with spicy music? I'd eat that up as many people would. That would require me to actually A, want to grind PvP, B, have my app not crash 5 times in a day, C, want to drop everything that I'm doing in my life to go to 70, and D, figure out if I'm actually good enough to do it. So those are 4 different reasons why it's making me wonder if I should even begin to do that. So, you know, I have other things in my life, And Emily's made it very abundantly clear that she wants a fiance and not a pure potato. Like, she's okay with a potato fiance, but not just a pure potato. I'm not allowed to be potato. I'm allowed to be Phil potato, potato Phil, potato, Sir potato, but not potato. As soon as I get triple P, that's when we have. Once you get that third P in there, PPP, you go too far. You go too far. Plus, I've already done a top 100 grind before. It was a nightmare. I hated it. It was the worst thing ever. It was the worst thing ever. It was gross. I mean, I did fight Goresh twice that season when I did that, but it was gross, and I hated it. I hated it every single moment of it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if the stars align, I might reconsider. But for now, the answer is no. For now, the answer is no. Overall, like, for example, like, I would replace this equip for, like, this equip. Put it there. Great. You can have another equip of this over here. That's fine. Yeah. Move on. Move on. Okay. Did I beat Goresh? I guess I should. I guess I'm allowed to talk about the ratio. Goresh and I have played a grand total of 3 times. I came out on top once only. So he has a lead on me, 2-1. So yes, did I beat Goresh? Yes. Did I lose more than I win? Yes. Anyways. It doesn't really matter though if I beat Goresh because we're all human, we all make mistakes. Anyways. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have health here. I feel like you could remove this, because you can keep this, keep that, put the plat. Again, I'm always gonna place the plat equip as like a top priority, just because you can abuse the healing so much that if you have any health buffs on top of it, you only further cement the reason why health restoration on this particular unit is crazy. This setup is fine. Like I said, I can give this a pass. I just personally think that there are better equips for this. That's all I'm saying, but I can give this a pass. Health, strike, yeah, this is fine. Okay, this is going. I'm not as big of a fan on this, but to be fair, based upon this being Zenkai 4, I don't think they're using this unit, so I guess it doesn't even fucking matter. I think it's only the first 3. Yeah, it is. So at this point, everything else is just there. Okay. Sure. This is fine. This is good. Solid. Good job. Okay, bet. Got it. Top impact troll. Got it. Okay. So the health was supposed to be the plat? Fine. That's totally fine. You could also do that. That's fine too. Point is, solid team. Need I explain this? I'm not going to. Remove this, replace them with the appropriate equips. Thank you. See this. This is actually fine. Although, personally speaking, if you're going to run him, run his generic GT equip too. So if I were to go and search him up, there's really no reason not to run the double equip because you can. Let's pick it up for a moment. Show it off. Health res, which is not super abused in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta unless you're running Angel, in which case it is. If you're running Angel Vegeta alongside Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or anyone that can health restore him, then his health restoration can be abused with this equip. Just overall defense, I mean, always good. And then base strike attack for up to 30% is phenomenal, specifically because he's got blast armor, and that's really good. And then yeah, other than that, like this is fine as equipped. This is fine as equipped. I just think one of these have to go. That's all. And then you're good. Mid. So we don't even talk about this dude, do we? You should never see this person in play, so it's fine. Okay, interesting setup. I'm not sure what this equip does, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. I like these two equips. They're fine. Although, not entire. Actually, no, never mind. Never mind. No, get rid of this equip. Get rid of it. What the feck? This ain't future. This ain't future. No, get rid of this. This is the only good equip. Okay, get rid of this one. I'm not sure what this one does. I don't even want to look at it at this point. Find an equip that works better for this guy that actually will give you some sort of offensive power. You need future units. Your leader slot does not automatically make that unit future. So please get rid of this equip. And then, I think that's all I'm going to say. I think there's already enough adjustments that need to be made that I don't need to explain any further. I have seen this exact team already. I've already seen this team. It's been reposted, so I'm going to ignore that. Why is blast armor so good? Well, let's see. It's neutral priority. I know you're asking this hypothetically, as in, like, it's probably rhetorical, but I'm going to explain it anyways, because I feel like doing that. Being able to be priority neutral is stupid in a game where whoever gets the first combo gets a lead. So when you have blast armor, your opponent has to now think twice before using a blast card. And when they have to think twice before using a blast card, they have to do mid-range strike. And as we all know, mid-range strike is a meme. Not because it cannot work at times, because it definitely can. But usually, when it doesn't work, you get punished. That happens very often. But if you were to try to do blast, chances are your opponent can just take neutral by drifting forward and then clicking strike at mid-range, and then you're caught in a combo. And then there's nothing you can do unless you can somehow get out of it. So, blast armor. Why is it so good? Because it's a dumb mechanic that luckily isn't as dumb as it used to be. Yeah, I know, monkey. But not all those units were future. Like, if we go back, last time I checked, this guy is not future. This guy's not future. These two are fundamentally stronger units than the majority of this on the team. Actually, if we were talking about future units, this guy's not future either. So, yes, this is buffed with future, but in that case, you're limited to always running these three. And who the feck is going to run these three, especially mid-Jito, if you could run GV? So, yeah, get rid of this equip because it makes no sense in tandem to the team. All right, that's all I want to say. Moving on. Gonna open that. Maybe I can do some vlogs. I could definitely do vlogs on a different channel for sure. I should. I already have other channels set up. I just need to actually post content, and then we'll be good to go. Damn, there's a lot of teams for me to look at. Okay, we're gonna stop at Quack for a little bit so I can actually get through some of these. Future. I've already explained this. Not gonna go for it. Although this is not bad actually. So better options than these two, but this solid equip. Okay. I feel like you could replace at least this equip for something better, and that'd be really good. Otherwise, team is solid. Strong. It's good. Free to play PPR. All right. I mean, fair. Okay. All right, if you're going to make this setup, I would replace either this equip or this equip. I think I would replace this equip with the Awakened and go for it. Let me just find red. Where are you? Because if you're going to do this... Actually, it depends on what you're doing, actually. Never mind. If your main objective is to constantly use these three instead of Goten, then in that case, keep this equipped. But if you're planning to run Goten, then I would strongly recommend this equip. So let me just find it. The Awakened version of this. So you want to go for a ranged battle type because you get 10% for pure buff, and that would be insanely powerful to this team, especially with the setup that you have here. Now, if you are going mainly for strike, then in that case, I totally understand this, and it's to balance him off. I get it. So otherwise, but at that point, you could also just argue that you could run his other plat equip, and that'd be just as good. So, you know, just something to think about. Consider it. Let me just go back because I want to just double check what this does 100% because I don't fully remember. Oh wait, whoa, wait, is this also to? Is pure buff to blast and strike? Never mind. 1 second. Let me see the equips again. We've got key recovery and special and blast. And we got pure buffs to both, but it's 8% and only 1 strike defense. And then we have this, which was base blast with base strike, base blast, and blast attack. Okay, so let me just double check now your Z abilities, because your Z abilities will make or break this. So just give me a moment. So I'm not out of the woods yet. I still have to double check the Z abilities now. So give me a momente. GV was what? Was it strike and blast? I think it was. Yep. This kid was what? Give me a moment. I'll make a decision based upon what I see. Strike and defense. Okay. Go 10. One last thing to decide. It's really going to be what's going to make or break this. The Z abilities. Base blast. Borley. Strike and blast. And then you have Tau for the health and crit buff. Mental math now, guys. 1 second. 35. 20. And you have your Z abilities, which this is buff for blast, 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 blast. That you have the Zenkai abilities that don't apply to him, so only his Zenkai ability applies to him. In order to make his other one work. So to keep this would be fine under this sense. But if you were to change Tau for the red for buffing hybrids, you kill a little bit of GV, but by doing so, you also actually allow you to change to the other equip. But at the same time, how much is actually for strike? 1, 2. Leave him, but I have to double check one last time. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. And then 8%. Is that still even worth it? You'd have to no, you'd have to double check. You have to test it. Okay, so this is what I would do. What I would do if I were you is I would also make this equip. I would also make it. Then I would go to like friend battle with anybody and just test. What I would do is I would test against the blue unit. See how much damage you do when you're doing not crits with this setup and this. Then I would change the equip, test the setup and see how much damage, restart the fight, test how much damage you do with this equip. And then what I would do is I would remove this Tau after you've done that 2 tests and do the test twice more, but this time, I believe, where is he? Using, Beck, where are you? Using the Super Saiyan Trunks teen. If you can have him at Zenkai 7, that would be ideal. Just to to Zenkai buff your Gohan, because he'll also buff all your hybrids on the team, and you're going to be running this one and this one and this one, so that already helps a lot. Plus, you're going to be Zenkai boosting this dude. And see what it's like to run the other 2 equips and see where the blast does the most. Because wherever the blast does the most, that's ideally what you want to be doing. And that would be the way to do this. The reason why I'm saying this is because I can't, for the life of me, still figure out which one's better. I'm trying to figure out, is the strike pure buff even worth bothering on Gohan? Just because you don't have the other plat equip. Like, if you were to run this equip, I feel like you have to run the other plat. Just to buff the base strike as well. But in that case, you actually minimize the effectiveness potential of actually dealing a lot of base, a lot of pure buff blasts. So that's just another thing to consider. But at the same time, I feel like you could also remove this for another pure buff. So, like, there's just too much that I could consider here. And a lot of it really has to come down to how much blast you're actually focusing on this free-to-play PPR, which obviously it's a mixed bag. It's not full blast. So as a result, I'm not sure. You'd have to do a lot of tests, see what equip set does the most for your blast, and go with that. That's what I would say. So yeah, that's that was a pain in the butt, but yeah, that's what I'd say. Otherwise, solid. For this, I already explained why this needs to change. I'm not going to explain it again. I don't remember if his plat works in tandem with this type of team, but if it does, change for his plat, because his plat is really good. I don't remember if he has a plat, but if he does have a plat, you could use it, but I think it's the movies equip, and that's not as relevant on him, so I guess that's fine to not. And yeah, that's what I would say. Overall, good job. Fujin. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about this. At least run the other Awakened, the Let's Go Vegeta if you're gonna run Awakened on that guy. Because I feel like that's missed opportunity. You could either replace this or this. I don't care which one. Just at least run the Awakened Let's Go Vegeta. And then this is basically a glorified S equip. So, just be aware that if you're running the Z plus equip, it's because you literally have nothing else. Not because it's actually like the most amazing equip ever. Congrats, David, for BR55. All right. Fugins. Or Fujin. All right. Clearly someone doesn't have SV. Which I guess is fine. But SV on this team is still amazing, even with GV. So it's unfortunate that this is the way it's going to be. Mid Jito. Yep, he's mid. Majub is nice. Gogits is nice. VB is still solid, even in a Fugin's team. Just lacks the defense. Even with these equips, unfortunate. And also this Awaken, get rid of it. It's for future, and last time I checked, most of these are not future. So get rid of this equip and change it with something else. I think that's enough. That's all I really want to say at this point. Like, there's already a lot to work with here. You get rid of this equip, find something better for this. Replace this or this for the Let's Go Awaken Vegeta, and you already have a much better team as a result. And I could definitely say more, Like, for example, anything that is A, make it S, and anything that's just regular green as your first slot, re-roll. Like, that would already increase the value of your team without even changing the equips, ironically. So just something to keep in mind. All right, Future. GV in here. Solid set. I agree with this. I mean, personally, I don't run this particular equip, but I agree with the setup. Yeah. Okay, I'm assuming health. I don't think regen. Okay. I don't have much to say about this. This is all solid. Like, not everything I agree with in terms of setup. Some things could probably be awakened, but outside of that, there's not much to say about this other than good job. Like, it's a solid standard future team. Good job. Ranged God. All right, so we are. Okay, so this is severely limiting because you can never really run God Topo if you decide to run your SOH. I believe. Let me double check, but I believe that's true. How many do you need? How many units do you need for this to work? 2 or more. Yeah, future or Vegeta. Yeah, so you can't ever run Topo. Interesting. I mean, granted, it actually probably works out the best that way, considering the fact that I'm seeing this equip on Topo, and that's just complete not nonsense. Topo's strike is really, really bad, and the only way that you can make this good is if you were to really emphasize on strike, which you can definitely do it. It's just that this team already looks like it wants to be like a mixed bag, and he's not good at mix. He's not good at mix. You gotta prioritize one, and if you prioritize his strike, his blast will make him mixed. But this looks like it's prioritizing a bit of blast too, and you can't do that. You really can't if you're gonna try to do that to this guy. And on top of that, it conflicts with SOH. You're gonna have to find a better green, or a different green, or just don't run a green altogether. Or you just can't run SOH, and that kind of hurts considering. But yeah, these three together can definitely work in tandem. So yeah. Otherwise, I don't have much else to say. Just, you know, how long am I gonna keep streaming? I might stream until 5. Honestly, I might stream till 5, guys. And it's right now. So in about like 20 minutes, I'll stop. Normally, I would have stopped like 40 minutes ago, but today I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna give you guys value today. Okay. Topo's only for Z ability. Got it. Then in that case, fine. This is some blast based Triton. All right, so good equip. I feel like this could be re-rolled for a better slot first slot, but otherwise solid equip. This is also a solid equip, even if it is on GV and there are better equips, but this is still solid because of the health restoration, so that's kind of goated still. It's just on the lower end of like the equips that I would recommend. Again, I still would recommend it if you have nothing better, but again, if you can get the first equip set up properly, the first slot, make it better because that green irks me. And this Beerus equip, I wouldn't recommend it. Honestly, get that Let's Go Awakened Vegeta equip, way better. And yeah, just do that. Free play Rose, I feel like this is this man's really be running a setup of equips that when they have nothing better and they really don't want to work on their equips. This is what this looks like. That if you ever wanted a prime example of I hate equips and I really don't want to put the effort in, look at this free to play Rose right here. That's exactly what's happening. This is my, so again, nobody cares. Yeah, this is This is another prime example of I put my equips on I put my finest equips that I didn't work on here and left it at that. That's this. Green Goku Black literally is getting that experience, just like whoever did this to Goku Black really either loves Goku Black but not enough to actually make them like or alternatively they're that lazy that even if it's their favorite character or even not, they decided to lowball it. That's basically what happened here. And then now I'm actually genuinely confused. That's Strike, isn't that? Last time I checked, that was Strike. That wasn't Blast. So, huh? And where be the plaid on this guy? The plaid on this guy would be fantastic. Let alone on a lot of these. And I don't understand this. He's a blast-based unit using a strike-based equip, and we're making him strike? Are we just trying to make everything strike? Is that what's happening? Is that what I'm seeing? Are we really transforming a blast-based unit to a strike unit that badly? Because I think that's what's happening. And it's genuinely confusing me. I gotta double check this shit. Because, like... No! It's a balance. No! Absolutely not. Get rid of this. No. Get rid of this. No. No, 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 no. If you're gonna go blast, go blast. If you're gonna go strike, go strike. Do not mix it so badly to the point where the equips just feel like they don't even matter. I'm just gonna have to close that. I can't. Brr. Can't see the equips, but I can definitely say this. GV as leader? No. SV as leader? Yes. Switch it. You're good. Thanks. Goodbye. Good night. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, so let's talk about this equip because it's new. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions as to what would actually be best for that Gogeta. You could run that equip on the Super Gogeta. My only issue with it is I feel like there are better equips for him than that equip. However, if we were to run this equip, let's say you say, I want to run this equip no matter what, here's what you run with that unit. Because I think it's very important that we acknowledge the fact that some people will choose to do this. If you're running these two, fine. With this equip, let's talk about it. You're going to want probably base strike attack, honestly. You're probably going to want, again, base strike attack. And then for the third slot, you're going to probably want either special... I would personally think that special move is the way to go. You want to buff up that special move. Ultimate damage won't matter as much because you will be able to abuse your special move a lot more anyways. The chances of using double ultimate move in a game, not as high as people think. Usually you get about 1. Max. There are occasional 2s, but the amount of times you can throw a blue card with this dude is good enough that I would definitely 100% support a special move. Special move boost. I would completely ignore base critical. Always. Never ever go for base critical. And then health restoration I feel like is not as necessary on him because you can't abuse it as effectively. GV could abuse this way more effectively than UL Gogeta can because GV can do it at any given point in time just by throwing 1 card art. Whereas UL Gogeta needs to throw enough that his meter fills up to heal. So, yeah, no health restoration, no base critical. You could key recovery, but I feel like there's no need. He has a green card to really support that, and his card quality is really good. And if you're running him on Saiyans, chances are your card quality is phenomenal. So your key recovery is phenomenal. So there's no real reason for key recovery. So really, realistically, your only options at this point for the last slot is special move or ultimate. And honestly, I would give it a special move since you could really abuse blues. So yeah, it would be strike, special move would be for you all Gogeta, unless you're going for hyper defensive, in which case I would definitely say probably base strike defense, base blast defense, or vice versa, plus special move. That would be where I would go. Hello, Jonatas. Hello. So yeah, another idea. I brought a strong star-wise team into top 20k PvP without equips and won 3 out of 5 battles last season. Opinions. Well, I feel like if I were to do that, I would actually try to actually make it in the top 20k and then see if you can do that, which I think you can. If you're just bringing any strong team with no equips, I think you can definitely do it. You don't need equips to win. It's just that, you can definitely do it. So yeah, I personally, so let me talk about it. Personally, though, I do not like the Righteous Saiyans equip. I think that it is way too A, RNG based, and then B, there are just better equips that do the same thing, but just, again, like I said, better. I think it's a pretty solid free-to-play equip. I just think that if you are going to invest in your UL Gogeta to be actually as dangerous as he can be, I feel like there are better equips than that. And throughout stream, I already showed which equips I thought. So no real reason to do it again. Interesting. Overall, I like these two. Not a fan of this. We won't get into the rest. Overall, it's fine. I feel like you could, if you really want to abuse health, you could also dub in Shallot. It's my personal opinion, because I find myself almost never using Angel anymore, considering the fact that my roster is always blue, green, purple all the time. So Angel's just there for defense at this point. So if you want to do triple health, you can. But if you want to do just double health, you could either keep him in or switch to Raditz to also boost Angel Vegeta if you do find yourself bringing Angel. So that's something to consider. Otherwise, good. The future. All right. Clearly, this person that showed this team doesn't have the best future units, but it's also making me wonder. This is probably not their main team, and they're just kind of showing me their future team that they have. At least I hope. Because, god damn, this team reminds me of, pretty much 2020 with, like, an update of 2 units. So, I don't think I should even talk about the equips if I have to talk about the units. So, yeah. For what it is, fine. Just keep pulling for more future units. I would do that. I knew it! I knew it! See? I knew it! It's not even your main team. I knew it! Haha! See, I called it. I looked at that and I was like, this can't be anyone's main team. No way. No way. Because that looks like it was not worked on for, like, ages. And I was right. Alright. Let's take a look. Okay. No. So, let's talk about Bardock. So we didn't really talk about Bardock, so we might as well talk about Bardock now. Go to blue. Find Bardock. He's somewhere here. He's chilling. Down below. Let's look at what he's got. There are options here. We like options. Okay. So we like this because it's big Kachow. We like this because Big Ka-Chow. We like this because, you know, who doesn't like a base strike? Who doesn't like pure buff strike, right? But if you don't want the pure buff strike or you don't have that, you always go for, you know, a lot of offense or a mixture of defense with some offense. I mean, there's always those options. Let's see what else. If you find yourself against a lot of greens, you could always run, of course, to get that damage cut against greens. It's not always relevant, but, you know, it can be. I'm just saying, there are options. There are options, you know. This is also a decent equip. Not perfect, but it's decent. Like, you get your pure buff for defense. And since you're, Saiyan battle member, you'll be definitely getting this up to 15. You got base strike, base defense, so, you know, that sort of thing. So, like, just equip-wise, that would be what I would say. Yeah, Zenkai 7 this, obviously. This being as it is fine. I just feel like you could change this equip, make this a little bit better. Let's actually take a look at what we have for, future Vegeta, not future, SV. Because I feel like there are better equips that you could run on that dude. Let me just see. So, this is fine. This is fine. I want to see these. Because usually Awakens are very, very good. Yeah, this is a great equip for him. Can be good because of the crit base, but that implies that Bardock is still around. And then this is just generic. So, personally speaking, if I were in their shoes, I'd probably go with the Awakened Chia. Because Awakened Chia is really good. And since you can abuse the special move damage, plus you can also abuse it, like, you can just abuse it. Like, there's really no reason not to abuse it. So, you get base key recovery. You already get base key recovery on top of the fact that you have also card draw speed, potentially double card draw speed, as well as having special move damage up and base strike up or base blast up, but I don't care where you go with that. You could essentially go indefinite combo because of the Awakened Chia. So, on top of other things. So, yeah, there's really no reason why we're running, which equip is it? This equip. Let's take a look what we got. Yeah, this is just super basic. If you wanted super basic, you could just go with the Silver Awakened equip, and you would apply just better stats anyways. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, right? If you're gonna go with a base equip, there must be a reason why you're doing it. There must be a focus. Otherwise, you're just throwing caution to the wind. At that point, you might as well do an Awakened base stat equip. An Awakened base stat equip will be better than just a base non-Awakened equip, just generally speaking. So yeah, that's what I would say. Otherwise, team itself is solid, though. So, good job. And, yeah. Question if this makes sense. Let's say you are guarantee rolling, like, this is the Kaioken equip slot 3, for example, which can be either strike or attack or defense. Let's say I'm rerolling attack. Is it possible? Okay, so if you're doing a guarantee roll... No, if you're doing a guarantee roll, if it's already set on strike defense, you're gonna have to switch it. You're gonna have to do a regular roll until you get strike attack, and then you can guarantee roll, and it will just keep it the same. At least that's from what I've experienced. I haven't ever had an experience where if I do a guarantee roll, that it switches. It will never switch. It hasn't switched for me, and I've done many guaranteed rolls where they could switch. So at this point, I'm pretty certain that if you're doing a guaranteed roll, it keeps the exact same roll. All right. Let's open this, because we're not done. We got 5 minutes left, and then I'm going to be done. So we're going to try to go through these as fast as we can. Although, again, I can't 100% guarantee it. So we are going to just, you know, try our best. We will try our best, everyone. All right, let's take a look. Yes. Sure. Mm-hmm. Run the GT equips. There's no reason why you can't run the GT equip, like this GT equip on all your GT units. It's such a shame not to do that. If you're going to run GT, make GT good. Okay. Okay. Awaken this at the very minimum. Okay. Potato film. Got it. Sure. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. That's funny. All right. So what I would say for this is just make sure that a lot of your equips that are A or S, try to make them go to the next level. Making my life easy. Feck you, Gohan. All right. So this is very anti-hybrid. Got it. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's very anti-hybrid. Okay. So yeah, again, what I would do is again, a lot of your S equips, make them a little bit higher if you can. Husbands, let's go. Solid. Love it. Okay, health plus the strike. Okay, got it. All right, we're abusing alt and special. Love it. Health, so it doesn't matter. Okay, this is interesting. It's fine. Overall, I don't mind this. You're going for generic plus just pure strike plus some defense with health and restoration. That's okay. I think that the setup itself is fine. It can find itself a little bit falling flat with this equip. I feel like you could run a better equip. If you go back to the stream, we did talk about further back in the stream, we did talk about that. So if we just go real fast, I'm gonna go fast. I think that if you're gonna go with that, a better equip for that would just be this one. Realistically, if you're just going for base, if you're going for generic stats, this is better. But otherwise, it's fine. But then again, if you want to, you could just replace this. But yeah, overall, good job. Strike Bird, let's go. Okay, your buffs. Yeah, it's actually good. I have not much to say about it. Good job. Saiyans. Okay. This is questionable only because he's not a very strike-oriented unit, but you can definitely make it work. I'm not going to talk about this. You should know why these two equips I will never agree with. Awaken, please. Otherwise, fine. Phil G? Daddy! Oh, no, baby. It's 10 out of 10 dad-licious, but then 0 out of 10 baby-licious. Movers. Okay. All right. Again, plat equip, please. You already have these two. Might as well set up with the plat. Be done with it. Also, reroll this. No reason why this is green slot. No reason. No excuses. We have 2 minutes. I think I can get through some more. All right. We did it. We're at the very end. Okay, cool. Okay. No, not this equip, please. There are better equips that you could awaken and put on him. Yeah, solid. Okay. Since we're going blast, I can agree with this. Since you're going generic, I feel like you could just go with some more defense or some health. This is too generic. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not too annoyed by that. That's pretty good. All right, Almighty V. Let's go. Nice. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Solid. Okay. Yeah, solid. Good job. Not much to say there. In progress. Cool. Solid. Personally, I think that if you're going to run this, again, Let's Go Awakened is better. But otherwise, solid. I personally feel like with this, try to find a different health buffer equip because you're not going to find too many hybrids as much as you used to. You still will, but not as often. It's something to consider. Obviously place an equip in here, but I guess you said in progress, so I get it. I mean, if it's in progress, this is good. Just remember that if you're running this equip, Zamasu has to be paired up always with Evo. Can't really see much, so let's just take a look at this. It looks like it's in progress. You have the base 3, so that's good. Otherwise, solid. Just, get rid of this Rose. Maybe find Fusion Zamasu, you're fine. All right, so Alfie, if you need more questions, send me a DM, please. And let's look at this. This is for fun, apparently. I already reviewed this, actually, so we're done with that. All right, and that's it, guys. That is all the teams. We did that. I did review that. So, Alfie, if you want a little bit more help on that, just DM me. I will try to help you with that, or, message me somewhere and I will help you with that. Without further ado, I'm going to end off the stream now. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for giving me your teams. Thank you for trusting me with your team so I can help you. And, yeah. Is Revival Elf Gohan good? Yes. Okay, that's without being said. Take care. Have a great night. Happy New Year's to all of you that already New Year's have passed. For those of us that haven't, get ready for that. We're gonna celebrate with things. Anyways, take care. Salty days.